welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Great Lakes Honda City coming to you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. They're open for sales and service Monday through Saturday. You can get a sneak peek of all that they have to offer, including Happy Honda Days, by going to GreatLakesHondaCity.com. I am picture in picture with the one and only Gene Marshall here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Binghamton University. We have the opportunity to have a moment with Marshall and to also bring you the Bearcat Breakroom throughout the year. We've underpromised and over-delivered on how many of those Bearcat specials you've had, but that's because there's been so many awesome student athletes and coaches, and I think you're okay with that, Gene, right? That I gotta get them all out here, get them all on the stage. So we're here with the athletics director of Binghamton University, one of my favorite people in the business, Mr. Marshall. How we doing?
Good morning, and thank you. It's always good to have you talk about our student athletes and our coaches because they are the best in the business. So I don't mind being upstaged by them.
So yeah, and I know we've talked about it before where you said make it about them. So
Yep.
I always want to make sure I spend some time with you, but I know that you said defer to them, give them the opportunity. But I thought this was a perfect time as we're coming to the end of 2025 to take a look at a year in review. And in the spring of 2025 we had multiple champions come out of Binghamton University. So I just love to speak with you about how we ended last academic year, started this one, but essentially with that started the new year off in 2025 with a lot of hardware for these wonderful Bearcats.
Yes. Swimming, men's swimming won their championship again. They did a great job. Uh, Coach Kaminsky has really 3 out of the last 5 years. I mean, I think he's top of the heap when it comes to swim coaches. Um, the ladies are doing better. They're really starting to pick up. So that's going there. Baseball and softball. I mean, I can't say enough about Coach Zanicki, who had pitching issues with the arms and people getting hurt and just kind of limping through the season. I didn't know how he was able to do it, but he did. And then to get in the playoffs and make a run. It's just a true credit to coaches, the coaching staff, and more importantly, the student athletes, because they never gave up, they never backed down, they never packed it in, and they went on to win a championship. And the softball team, from start to finish, really were in first place, and they picked up from last year and just kind of ran the table and won the championship. So Jess Bump and her staff and the student athletes were super. And, track, they did a pretty good job. And then we go to men's tennis.
Yeah.
Back to back. Nick does a great job with his team, and they just started slow, injuries, and just kind of getting the rust off of winning the championship and just kind of methodically move their way through. Will Benny, who was a junior last year, but a senior this year, said to me as they were heading out to New Jersey that they were going to win another championship. So he held true to his word, and I got there just in time to see him win. So proud of all of our student athletes, but definitely in the spring, we didn't win the Commissioner's Cup, but we finished third, which was strong, which is our goal, is to stay in that top three, and we want to make sure that we're in contention to win. And so with that, I'm extremely proud of our student athletes and our coaches.
Yeah, and like you said, in painting a wonderful picture of what that spring looked like and the positivity, back-to-back Commissioner Cups going into this past academic year, and then to finish in the top three. So 3 straight top 3 finishes that included 2 winnings of that Commissioner's Cup, which is huge. And I mean, Gene, when you came in, like you said, you wanted to build a championship culture, and that went far beyond the pools and tracks and courts and fields of life, that they have to do it in the classroom, they have to do it in the community. But you tasked your coaches and your student athletes and really your staff to have this championship culture. What has that looked like, and how have you seen it develop into hopefully what you were hoping it to be?
I think it's a work in progress still, but we've made great strides. We still have some more culture to develop
Yeah.
and sustain it. We still have some programs that we have to work with. And it's just a matter of circumstances. We've had injuries. I'm extremely proud of our women's volleyball team, who um, new players, transfer portal, and then injuries, and they made it to the playoffs, although they lost in the semifinals. But the fact that they were able to hang in there, cross country, the men had their best performance in years and finished in second, um, and the women finished in third. I mean, and then you go to women's soccer, first place regular season,
Yeah.
lost in the semifinals, so we have to get over that hump. But the fact that they were able to come back, and again, 3 out of the last 5 years, we finished first in the regular season. So part of that championship culture is breaking down those barriers from the semifinals to the finals to the championship. But I think we have the right people to do that. Women's basketball is off to a great start, 7-4, really doing well. Coach Grimes has really got this team playing up tempo, pressing defense, and getting down the floor, spreading them out, going to the basket or shooting threes, and it's working. Men's basketball is struggling, and when you have 6 players out
Yeah.
for almost the first month of the year, you get one back, you get two back, and then somebody else gets hurt again, and you have 4 players, including 2 starters, out for the rest of the season with season-ending injuries. So what you have to do is continue to push, continue to prod and work. And I think that Coach Sanders and his staff is doing that, and the student athletes are trying. So yeah, part of the winning culture is overcoming adversity, and I think we're doing that. We've done an excellent job in the classroom. The academic progress report, which will be reported officially in the spring, 15 out of our 21 sports got 1,000 on the academic progress report, which is 1 better than last year and 2 better than 2 years ago. So we are winning championships in the classroom. We had about 37 of our student athletes have a 4.0.
Yeah.
You got over 60% 3.5 or better. So, I mean, we're doing it in the classroom. We still do 2,300 hours of community service. And we're raising funds. Thanks to the wonderful support of our anonymous donor, we were able to get $22 million in endowed scholarships, athletic scholarships. We were able to qualify for a 50% match of state funds, which was another $11 million. So we have $33 million for new endowed scholarships, 40 in number, for our team to spread out so that we could help them have more scholarships to go out and get the best and the brightest. We have starting recently, the outdoor track, the Visions outdoor track. It started construction. So that renovation process is taking place. It started December 1.
Yeah.
And hopefully by August it'll be done. Then we have after commencement, they're going to redo the event center, new bleachers, new gym floor, new track, and new synthetic surface. So that should be done by the end of December. So we are still building and renovating and trying to put programs in place. We're also working on a relationship with the Green and White group, which is a fundraising arm that helps with NIL. Since we opted out rather, we're not part of the collective.
Yeah.
So any support that has to happen has to come outside of the university, which is okay. We have a lot of great people in the Green and White that are supporting us. And that's kind of what we've been doing in as we finish up 2025 and excitingly look to 2026.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot going on at Binghamton University, and I feel like there's always so much for you and I to speak on. And as I told you, for years, even before you got to Binghamton, I saw something there, and there was value to me. And then getting to talk with some of the coaches and having them on the show, and being around the student athletes and being in the community and having extended family there that just really cares about the Southern Tier and the Binghamton area and all of that, kind of surrounding area as well, Endicott and Endwell and whatnot. I mean, for me, it was easy to say there's value here. And then to see, and I say this all the time, when it comes to coaches and student athletes, Gene, they always impress me and they leave individual imprints. I have I sit down with anybody and we have this story and I hear their story and nobody's exactly the same. Everybody has a unique play in this, but what bonds them all together is they talk about how they're challenged scholastically at Binghamton University. They talk about how hard it is in a good way. They discuss being a part of their teams, the coaches that they have, the experiences they've had. They're good people. They say hi. I'll be on campus and I'll be doing an event over here and somebody that's not a part of that sport will come over and say, "Oh, I saw you and I didn't want to bother your interview, but I wanted to say hi." And there's something to be said about as much as this world has grown and changed and evolved at times and devolved at times, we see something at Binghamton University that stays the same, and that's relationships, positive culture, building each other up, challenging each other, asking the best out of everybody, and making sure that you take the experience, the time that you have, and you do something with it. And as my family would always say, make something of yourself and the moments you have. So I can say that as much as this world has changed, what I love most about Binghamton is you always take time to shake my hand and see how I'm doing. So do the coaches, so do the student athletes, so does your staff. And I feel welcome when I'm there, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Well, your family. So your family, we try to create a family type atmosphere here. The student athletes are something special. And we try to support them in every way we can. I mean,
Yeah.
budget wise, apparel, uniform wise, Dennis Kalina has done an excellent job of negotiating a great agreement with Nike and BSN to provide us with the necessary apparel and shoes that we need to be successful. And so I think the young men and women that are on our teams feel that, feel the support, feel the love that we're trying to provide. But there's also an expectation.
Yeah.
And I think they feel that expectation. But it's not just about winning games. It's about getting ready and preparing for life. Because if they are successful here academically, athletically, and community-wise, they will be successful professionally and family-wise. And so I want them to want to win in everything they do, because once they leave here and go out in the real world, when you lose, you get fired. And so we try to help them along those ways and have fun in what you're doing. I wouldn't be in this business for over 40 years if I didn't love what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I think the student athletes see that, the coaches see that, the staff sees that. Um, and so I think that we try to translate that into our student athletes so that they feel it and they carry it on and they dig down deep. So I think it's a good time. That's what we do. President Stinger left a lasting legacy as a president. Um, he helped to get us going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I can't thank him enough for all that he's done, not only for me, but for this athletic department. With that being said, we're excited to have Ann DeLeva as our new president, who is very supportive of all university activities, including athletics, but understands where athletics fits in the overall scope of the university. I think people may be misled as to the fact that she is supportive of athletics, and she is, but she understands where it fits in. And I think that's the thing that's most important. It's not that it's any higher than before, but she understands where we fit in the grand scheme of the university. We've been extremely successful working with the faculty through the help of Provost Hall and our faculty athletic representative, Nadine. Um, I think that's how you work. We're all tied in together. And then the support that we receive from facilities and student affairs and advancement, that's how we put this team together to be successful. So I do believe that good times are ahead under the leadership of President Believer. And we're in a good place.
Yeah, and you led right into it. Speaking on what Harvey Stenger did, and the legacy that he leaves, and then Ann DeLeva coming in and what she brings to the table. Going through that, there is that bittersweetness, right, of saying Harvey will always stay in
Mm-hmm.
touch. I appreciate what you've done. He involved
Mm-hmm.
himself in athletics. That's how I met him and had the opportunity to talk with him when we had the Commissioner Cup celebration last year. And then
Mm-hmm.
you have Andaliva coming in, and the question is always, if we're moving in the right direction here, are we going to keep going under this new president? If there's something that maybe could have been better, are we going to pick this up and carry the ball forward, so to speak? So, of these few months that you've had with Ann, what do you see that gives you that positive reinforcement that what Harvey built is going to continue to be built upon by Ann, and that she cares about these student athletes, she cares about what it means to be a Bearcat, about these coaches, and about what you're looking to do leadership wise as the athletic director?
I think that's a great question. I think part of it is because of what Harvey did before he left. Athletics became a interwoven into the fabric of the university, and also with President DeLeva coming from UConn, where athletics was important, but it was an important part of the university structure.
Mm-hmm.
So there, although it's the Big East and a lot of other things, it's still an academic institution and academics comes first. So she understands where it fits in. She has ideas. Um, and so what we're going to do is the things that are going well will continue. And there may be some things that she thinks that we might need to adjust. So we'll adjust them. But I think it's in the whole premise of better serving our student athletes, being the front porch of the university, because this podcast, other live streams, TV broadcast, um, it's a marketing infomercial of Binghamton University. I mean, if you think about it, we have 13 linear games on SNY. from men's soccer, women's soccer, volleyball, men's basketball, women's basketball. That was in the fall.
Yeah.
So you can't beat that. And so we have a lot of alumni downstate and in New Jersey, Pennsylvania. I mean, they get to see us, and we're still on ESPN Plus, and we still do a great deal with that. But I think we want to use athletics to catch people's eye and talk about all the great things that we do at Binghamton University, from our exceptional students, over 18,000 of them, to our exceptional faculty and our exceptional staff. And we can use athletics as a way of marketing that and championing that and showing that to everybody. So I think it's a win-win. I think we have a great president that just came in. We had a great president that just left. And I think that, everything is on and upward for Binghamton University and Bearcat Athletics.
Yeah. And I mean, and to your point, when we tell the stories here, we're not talking about simply wins and losses. We're talking about life. We're speaking on the journey of why these student athletes chose Binghamton, either as a transfer or, as a true freshman. We're talking with coaches that, this is their alma mater and they've come back to it. So, the greater message of Binghamton University, to your point, is told through Binghamton Bearcat Athletics.
Yes. And I think that we can tell the message, we can send it. We use these various platforms, and that's why it was very important to have the relationship with you. Because it's not only someone telling our story, but it's a family member telling our story. So it's a little different. And you don't get that everywhere. So I think that we're onward and upward. We have a lot of ideas, a lot of plans for 2026. And we want to make sure, look at the campus, all the construction that's going on.
Yeah.
We're building buildings, we're building dormitories. We're trying to accommodate these very talented young men and women that come to school here. And so I think that if you look at where Binghamton's trajectory is, and how it's going to go even higher and get even better. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about what the future holds, but I'm also excited about what we're doing now. And so it's been a great 2025. I think 2026 is going to be even better. And I think that some of the sports that we have challenges in, people are going to have to be patient, because Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
Programs didn't get bad overnight, and sometimes they don't get good overnight. It takes work, persistence, and being together.
Yeah. And, and I appreciate all your kind words and you saying that I'm family, because, that's something that means the world to me. I know it means a lot to, my extended grandpa family, not my biological grandpa, but a grandpa nonetheless, Grandpa Bill up in heaven. I know you said last time you were on the show, you said, you know what, I see some stuff behind you and you got all these things in your studio. You need to get a B. Well, thanks to Nick
I see
Zazula.
the B. I see the B.
Yeah. So
I got it. I got it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so
I appreciate that.
That's hanging all the time. So thanks to Nick Zazula. I said to him, I said, man, what do you got for? Or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Nick. Nick gave me the shirt. My apologies on that. That wasn't from Nick. This actually came from Paul Marco.
Paul, yeah, he likes those scarves.
Yeah, so Nick provided me a shirt when I came in to usher in 2025-26, and then Paul Marco, I said to him, I was like, hey, if you know of a scarf, or is there one that I could buy in the shop or something like that? He goes, buy one. He goes downstairs and he brings it up to me and hands it to me. And if you know Paul, it's hard for him to
Yep.
part with any scarf. So the fact that
Oh,
this
I
is in
know.
my studio means a lot.
Oh, I know. You must be special.
Yeah, I was like, that's not moving. I nailed it to the
No,
wall, Gene. You can't take it out of here. So,
no, you can't. No, that's great. And I appreciate it. And that's what we try to do. What you're doing and how you're doing it is just the epitome of what we're trying to accomplish. And having a family type atmosphere, getting the word out, and letting people know the good things that we do. I think for many years, Binghamton University has been the best kept secret from an academic standpoint, from a philanthropic standpoint, from a research standpoint, and from an athletic standpoint. I mean, you know, we do like $78 million of research. I mean,
yeah,
it's phenomenal, and nobody knows. So to me, these venues are a way to kind of brag about our great institution. Yes, talk about our athletes, talk about our coaches, um, my staff, the president, but more importantly, the faculty, the staff, and the other student population. Our student government supports the athletic program 1,000%. They are at everything, and they are supportive. So, I mean, you can't beat this place for what athletic means to them and how we in turn help our young kids in the community
yeah,
to look at college, to look at we're the pro team to them. And they look at us, our student athletes, as role models. And our young men and women take it seriously and they work with them. And they all may not come to Binghamton to go to college, but they will go to college somewhere because they want to be like the Bearcat student athletes that they know and love.
yeah. And I mean, I appreciate, like you said, I mean, the family approach, what it is, and just, I mean, you and I, when we sat and we met and we talked about working together, the majority of our conversation in your office was about how we parallel and what we care about: morals, values, life, community, faith, belief in God, leadership. It was about two people getting to know each other and what our plans are and our visions for our future, and then linking up in that respect. And that was, I mean, to me, that's one of my favorite and a very unique thing, is that I can't say that every meeting is sitting there with somebody and it's like, well, tell me who you are, because by knowing who you are, I'm going to know if this makes sense, and I'm going to know
Mm-hmm.
if you can help us with this message of how we want to carry this across. So, I was excited to work with Binghamton. I was excited to talk with you. I loved the opportunity, and that you gave me the time. And I tell the men and women all the time now, I was like, man, I was really looking forward to covering Binghamton and doing this special partnership, but it's been more than what I thought I was going to even get, because these student athletes and these coaches have really, truly, every
Mm-hmm.
single time we've talked, they've touched me in some kind of way, and I root for them. And you get to hear from families, and
Mm-hmm.
you have, oh, my mom saw it and she said she's going to make this for you and this and that. I mean, there's just something to be said about the
Yeah.
fact that we're building a greater community, and it's so much more than simply what shows up in the win-loss column.
And the other thing is I'm trying to get our programs and our coaches. They are the face of their programs, not me. In the beginning, yes, but now they've established themselves, and I think they're the best spokespersons for their programs as well as the student athletes. So, with that being said, now they understand. So they get a chance to talk with you. They get a chance to tell you how their program is, how it's going, um, and they need to learn because they're the CEO of their program, and so they need to get used to speaking about it. They get used to talking to the media, but also talking to family members about it. And by talking to you, that's what they're doing. And it gets out. You have a popular show, whether you know it or not. Everybody seems to like your show, not just at Binghamton, but around because people watch it.
Yeah.
And whether you're down in Florida, or whether you're at Buffalo, or whether you're in your studio in Syracuse, or whether you're dealing with the ACC, they know. And so, we're fortunate to have this rock star in our midst, and so we enjoy it.
Well, I appreciate those words, Gene, but I send them right back to you because I appreciate the fact that I get to work with you. Even when I have to come up at the Dome and I have to interrupt you from talking to my guy Herm Frazier to say hello.
We go back 35 years.
Yeah, that man, I mean, he's been all over the place. You've been all over the place. And so it's crazy. It's fun. But I told you that I think, and I put up a video too, that when I was at the Dome that day, I had a zip up on, and underneath my zip up was all green. So
yeah. No, you got. I understand, but yeah, he and I are old friends, and it was good we talked, but it was good to see each other.
Yeah, so before we get into rapid fire, and like I said, I appreciate all the words, and I send them back to you tenfold, Gene, because I appreciate the fact that we've connected, and you're one of the people, listen, as busy as you are and everything you got going on, I don't know if there's a time where I have texted you or reached out to you where I didn't see a message come right back, and even if it was a thumbs up or a thank you or something, it was like, hey, I saw it, I acknowledged it, I'm connecting, and I don't think there's ever been a single special we've done with the Bearcats on Wake Up Call where you have not been on every single one of them, supporting my show, supporting your student athletes, your coaches, your administration. So to everything you said to me, I'm going to throw it back to you and say, if you think I'm a rock star, well, I guess you're going to have to share the stage with me and grab a guitar, my friend.
Well, my mother always taught me to respond. So I probably missed all of the things that she told me, but I got a few things right.
I feel you. My mom would say the same thing. So let's get into two quick things here. We're going to get into rapid fire, but not before we talk about, you keep saying that you're happy with everything that's happened, but you're very excited about what's going on right now, and you think 2026 is going to be even better. So what is happening right now beyond what we've spoken about that you're really, really excited about, and what makes you believe that 2026 we'll see our Bearcats do what they've been doing, and I love seeing, which is trending upward?
Well, I think the constructions that are going to take place, both indoor and outdoor, the event center and the Visions outdoor track. I think the scholarships that the coaches are able to use this year, but they won't really take effect until next year.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to recruit more talented young men and women. And so that will help us. And then some of the programs that we have challenges, I think the scholarships will help. We're also in the midst of hiring a new head strength coach and bringing in an assistant strength coach. We're doing a search for that too. So that's going to help us prepare our student athletes a little bit better. So that's what I'm excited about. And then, when President D'Oliva we get together, we can map out some of the things that we're going to do in the latter part of 2026. But I think that's the biggest thing. You look January of 2027, you'll have a new outdoor track, a new indoor facility, renovated, one of the best courts. We'll have indoor track done, bleachers done, the synthetic surface done. It'll be a destination campus, and our goal is to continue to be a destination campus.
Yeah, and I love it. And folks, seriously, if you have not, this campus will blow you away. I have seen more construction on this campus than I've seen in other D1, Power 4, whatever you want to call it, institutions. There has been a lot of consistent work. It's incredible. And I will say this, and I said it to the baseball team, that locker room for the Binghamton Bearcats baseball team reminded me immediately of the Orlando Magic's locker room in the NBA at the Amway Center, which is now the Kia Center. As soon as I walked in there, I pictured interviewing Dwight Howard at his at his locker. I mean, I don't even know. There's not enough words. And you know what my favorite parts is, and this goes unnoticed, Gene, is when you go into the baseball facility and you got all the training area and everything. When you walk into that facility, there are meeting rooms where you can like touch the glass or something on the side wall and it blurs the glass. And I'm like,
Yes.
I need to have meetings like that because part of my heritage, Gene, is Italian, and sometimes we have to blur. So
Yeah. You're right.
yeah, I just
But
love
you know,
that. I love that.
it makes the student athletes feel special. The indoor facility is the best, and I think it was very helpful last year, thanks to our anonymous donor. It was very helpful in both softball and baseball,
Yeah.
practicing when the weather was inclement. I know most people think that up here is sunshine and 70 degrees every day, but that helped us,
Yeah.
and it helps in recruiting. So I'm excited about what's ahead, and we just keep moving along.
Absolutely. So let's jump into it rapid fire here. You and I get to put each other on the hot seat. Gene doesn't know my questions. I don't know his. Any topic, any question. Gene, you get to ask the first one. What do you got?
Let's see, Jacksonville or Buffalo?
Man. Well, I've been in Jacksonville all day, every day. I got a whole Jacksonville part of the studio right off camera. So I'm on the Jaguars. It's funny though, Gene, because I feel like you've experienced this before. When your team is doing bad, everybody talks, but when your team's doing good, all of a sudden everybody forgot their tongue. So nobody's saying anything to me right now about the Jaguars that much. So I will shout out Alan Griffin, assistant coach for Syracuse basketball. Him and I built a friendship over the last decade plus. And I said something to him. I go, hi. I said, what's going on, man? My Jaguars, like, you're quiet. And he looked at me. He's like, what? I said, you're going to tell me that they're bad this year? He's like, they're still going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. I'm like, man, you just can't say good job.
They're haters. You got to understand how haters are. That's
That's how it is. But no, my Jaguars are doing well. I'm a Jaguar. I do sympathize with Buffalo. I do cheer for Buffalo when they're not playing my Jags, but I'm a Jaguar through and through. All right, Gene,
I got you on that.
Since I cover the college football playoff, and by the grace of God and some wonderful, amazing relationships and networking and just beautiful people that God's put me in the path of, I've had the opportunity, like crossing paths with you, to meet some tremendous people and get to cover some wonderful, wonderful events. I want to know from you if you watch the college football playoff and if you think you know who's going to take it all.
Well, I've watched some of them. I don't have an idea who's going to, take over or who's going to win it. I just don't. My sister-in-law is an Alabama fan. So at my granddaughter's first birthday party over the weekend, we were talking. And, Alabama fans were ready to throw Coach DeBoer out in the first quarter when they were down 17-0. And so I just said, who are you going to get? Bill Belichick? I don't know. There's a lot of drama in all of these.
Yeah.
100%. You take the Ole Miss situation with Lane Kiffin, and as much as he wins, LSU is going to pay him the bonuses. So he's got his whole staff trying to win. I don't know. So one of the things I've learned as a coach and an AD, we are poor selectors of champions.
Well, I will say this to you. Shout out to your granddaughter's first birthday. What's her first name?
Isabella.
So shout out to Isabella and a happy birthday to you. And to her mother, I'm going to say this to you right now. I know how Alabama works. I know y'all wanted to fire Kalen DeBoer last year. In his first year, you ought to fire him again. And I was told by an Alabama fan, if we don't win a national championship, it's a bad season. So I understand, but listen, it must be nice is all I'm going to say. It must be nice. All right, Gene.
If they fire him, he's going to have $90 million.
That's right. Hey, listen, some people aspire to be an SEC coach and get fired after 3 years and have generational money. So,
Exactly. It's not a bad gig.
no. So, what's your next one for me, Gene?
um, I'll make it easy this time.
Okay.
Um, how do you think New England's going to finish?
Man, well, I actually predicted before last year. So 2 off seasons ago, I said that the Patriots, in the terrible, terrible mistake of the Tennessee Titans firing Mike Vrabel, I said that he should be the head coach of the Patriots. And some guy found my post of this over a year ago. And when he was made the head coach, he was like, "Oh, look at this." Da, da, da. And I was like, "Yeah, he should be." And obviously he's doing well. And
Mhm.
I covered Drake May in college, covering the ACC in North Carolina. Got to speak with Drake, and I also said I thought he would have a better second season. So I
Mhm.
think New England's in really good shape. I think Jacksonville and Denver was the tale of the two best defenses, arguably, in the country. And Jacksonville beat them on the road by more than one score. So I think it's honestly, Jacksonville is a dark horse. I know they're not going to get a lot of credit, but I think they're definitely a team to beat. They beat Denver, who's currently at the top. And I think New England, to answer your question, is one of the arguable top two teams. And I could see them making it to the AFC Championship game. I do think
Mhm.
that there's a lot of good happening in New England, and I think they got the right coach.
Yep.
So, my question back to you. All right, Mr. Marshall, you and I are going to have dinner, and we're going to sit down with two other seats at our table. These are people from the sports and entertainment world. Who are you and I having dinner with, and why?
I think probably uh, I would say Don King,
Okay.
and I would say Jim Boeheim.
Okay.
And Don King because I'm going to try to get some money from him to give to Binghamton,
I like it.
and Jim Boeheim because I'd like to hear him whine about my former coach Jim Calhoun.
I like that. I respect it. That would be fun. I've wanted to meet Don King. I think I have 1 degree of separation from me to him right now. So I'd love to meet Don and talk to him. And Jim, I've had the opportunity of speaking with, just him and I in his office, and we did a lot
Mhm.
of interviews where it was just me and him one on one and not in a room full of people. So I do appreciate that. I always say that I'm one of the few people that I shouldn't say I'm one of the few people, but I know I'm one of the people that Bayheim has never yelled at. So we seem to know how to talk to each other, and I understand him and kind of what he looks to. So I would appreciate that. If it's Bayheim, I know we have to go to a steakhouse because that man's out there eating good. So what's your last question for me, Gene?
what's your thoughts about? And I keep it football. What's your thoughts about Chiefs um, and their little swoon right now?
Yeah, I think at some point, right, every dynasty has adversity. I mean, that's life. That's your challenge. I don't think
Hmm.
it takes anything away from what Andy Reid's built or what Pat Mahomes has done or Travis Kelsey.
Hmm.
Am I going to miss Taylor Swift on the television during the NFL playoffs? No. But as no offense to her, Swifty fans, don't get weird. But if I want to see her concert, I'll go to it. And so yeah, I mean, I think, listen, the changing of the guard has got to happen at some point. Kelsey was in the league for a bunch of years before Pat Mahomes, and there's got to be some kind of shifting around there, and they got to figure out what they want to be for the future. I do hope the best for them. I think it's funny when people forget. They're like, "Is the dynasty over?" I'm like, "No, the dynasty lives in history forever. It's just that they're not winning right now." So you can't take away the past And I know people live in a microwave society sometimes, but I like that the NFL this year, literally anybody in the NFC, anybody in the AFC, the Carolina Panthers are better. The Bucks are still relevant. The Jaguars are good. The Broncos are good. The Patriots are good. The Colts have been all right. The Ravens have been down. I told everybody the Steelers were going to make it with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, they're gonna make it. But Andy Reid is still a great coach, and they will be back. So I mean, I don't, I like the way he coaches.
Yeah.
And I think they'll be back.
No, and I will say this too and I agree with you. I think Andy Reid's a great coach. Mistake for Philly to get rid of him. And the guy who I never ever want to hear about being fired is a guy who has the right to leave whenever he pleases, and that's Mike Tomlin. And hopefully people have understood that now, that with Aaron Rodgers, look at where they are, and the Jets just couldn't seem to get anywhere with him. So go ahead.
That's fans.
Yeah.
They, and he understood it, and he handled it better than most coaches. He just let it run off his back and just did his thing.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. What do I say? Outside noise by definition belongs outside.
Right.
So my last question for you, Mr. Marshall. Well, it's the Christmas and holiday season. I want to know the best gift you've ever given and the best gift you've ever received.
Best gift I've ever given. I don't know, because my wife usually handles the gifts for the kids. And so they're all happy.
Okay.
So I guess they're pretty good. The best gift that I've received is really spending Christmas with them and having everybody at the house, and because everybody's in sports, and at times they were playing, coaching, and just the fact that we can get everybody there when my parents were living, that was Christmas for me. And my siblings were around. So it's not about what I receive monetarily. It's the fact that I was able to spend it with my family and do family things. So that's what the biggest gifts. And at my age and stage right now, it's really not about what I'm receiving, but it's what I'm given and what I receive by seeing them. So that's where I am. I've never been good at receiving gifts. I always feel comfortable on the giving end.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I love Christmas shopping because I love, showing people that I hear them, that I remembered, that I care, and that, I could do something that's always unique and special. That's what matters to me, is to be unique. And I mean, you just said exactly how I feel. It's not about the monetary or material gift that can be given. The gift is actually the person that's giving it.
Yep.
So
I agree.
Gene Marshall here with us, and thanks to the wonderful support, promotion, and you gave a smile to Gene today, Paul Marco, for that giant V that's back there hanging out here. Yep. I love it. I was like, I can't even wear it, Paul, because I got to keep it in the studio. But
that's right. But perfect. Perfect.
I appreciate everything, Gene. Appreciate your kind words. Appreciate our relationship on and off the air. And I actually owe you a fireside chat, because we've talked about going to get food, and we need to definitely do that. But I very much thank you for your time, for your positivity, your kindness, and for the opportunity to bring to life something that I really do care about, which is supporting these Bearcats.
Well, thank you. Happy holidays to you and your family. And I always see the post of you and your dad. So, I always try to comment on that because that's special. And try to get some downtime.
Yeah, that's what mom and dad tell. My dog is like, hey, if you don't get some downtime, I'll make you get some downtime. So she keeps me with it. Lily's good on that. But Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and God bless to you and your entire family, Gene.
Thank you. See you soon.
See you.